All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth in 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel, right? So I want to entitle this lesson, The Simple Can't Understand This Ministry, right? And I got a video clip here I want to play. It's with Captain Cesariak and that dude Marquette Devon, or I don't know if he's still known as the Saint in the Center, or whatever he's called, right? Um, Before I play this clip, though, I want to say this too. A lot of, especially Jake's, right? Because I've even heard um, Jason Black, if you ever heard of him. He's got two channels, The Business and The Black Authority, right? I've even heard him say some of the same sentiments about this truth, this ministry, what we preach, being a Hebrew Israelite. A lot of Israelites or so-called black people, right? But a lot of Israelites who are still in the world, they still believe in the system that Esau Edom has built, and they believe that, you know what I'm saying, so-called black people can create some type of kingdom on this side. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of, you know, Tariq Nasheed even started this, the FBA, Foundational Black Americans. You got a lot of people who believe in that narrative, you know what I'm saying, and believing that we can get reparations on this side, right? You got a lot of people who are of those ideologies who will look at us and will even look down on us and say that, we are producing nothing. We don't do anything for the community. We don't do anything for our people. All we do is preach. And because you guys preach, you really only preach because, you've been rejected by majority of, the rest of black society. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll come up with these things, or they'll say these things about us to say that, we're basically the undesirables of of the so-called black community because we don't believe in doing the same things that they believe in doing, right? And these are just people who don't understand this ministry. They can't see past what Esau Edom has created. They can't see past Babylon the Great. They can't see past America. And ultimately, they're just not of the elect. They're not chosen by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? And then they'll say we have even a vendetta or something like that by saying that, you know what I'm saying, they're not chosen by the Most High, right? But it is the truth. You know what I'm saying? It is the truth, and we know by what you teach, right? But they'll say that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people of the world will say things like, well, if God is really dealing with you, why you ain't rich? Why you don't have this? Why you don't have that? Measuring how the Most High is dealing with you by the materialistic things that you possess. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, nonetheless, let me go here and play this
But what I'm
clip.
telling you is that I know for certain what human nature is, and everyone, they scream out for attention. Babies cry for it, men die for it. And what I know for certain, especially with religion, because it operates in a very specific way in people's lives. When people come to Jesus, that's usually after they fell apart or they're recovering from addiction. When people want to become preachers, these are not the humble among us, though they may pretend to have humility. These are the people who want to be out in front. It's a fact. Furthermore, the people who preach, that's because they're not leaders in business. They're not great athletes, professional athletes right now. This is their thing. just like a professional athlete is known by his basketball. This is a way for human beings to find significance. And what I'm saying is, it's one of the most despicable ways because you're propagating fairy tales and lies, which
But
we all should know to be lies. But what I'm telling you is that.
So you heard what he said. He said, us preaching the word, right? Us preaching the word, what we know to be the truth, right? Not what we believe and what we think, what we know to be the truth, according to the Bible, right? And not only just according to the Bible, but what we have seen through prophecy, through history, and through what's happening today, right? A lot of you niggas don't understand that. A lot of you niggas don't understand that we know this to be true because we can, but the Lord has not given you eyes to see. Right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah has not opened up your spiritual eyes. You're still blinded by the world. So, of course, somebody like Marquette, he not going to be able to see the truth. Somebody like Jason Black, somebody like Tariq Nasheed, they're not going to be able to see the truth. They're not going to be able to see and line up this world and how this world is playing out right now in front of our eyes, right now, and see that this has been written in the scriptures, right? They're not going to be able to see that because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has blinded them to this truth, to this ministry. So people like this, of course, they're going to look at what we preach and they're going to look at us and say, well, you guys are just preachers because you want to be, that's the only thing you can be significant in. Well, I can tell you it's brothers in Great Millstone who could have had major significance in various other areas in life, in sports, in business, you know what I'm saying, in various particular things, you know. But when we awoke to this truth, we gave those aspirations up because we can see with our own two eyes, right? And through the scriptures, where this place is headed. We can see that all of this stuff is vain. You know what I'm saying? But people like this, you know, Jakes like this, they believe that this is a everlasting kingdom. This is my thing, right? This is my thing. Every superpower, every nation, every country that has reigned dominance and supreme over the earth has had a beginning and has had an end. But for some strange reason, for some odd reason, you niggas believe that America is going to reign supreme forever. For some strange reason, right? Or if you believe that America is going to fall, a lot of you believe that it's not going to be in your lifetime. But yet, majority of all kingdoms and all superpowers, countries that reign dominant and supreme in the earth, have lasted on average of 250 years. Right? And America is, I believe, in 2026 is going to be at that 250-year mark. Yeah, because America, the United States of America was officially a country in 1776, I believe, right? So yeah, 2026 will mark 250 years. So you think that this place is going to last much longer? And history shows you that most superpowers end in 250 years. My question will be to them, all right, well, what's your plans after this country folds? What's your plans after this country fails? Do you know how it's going to fail? Do you know how Babylon the Great is going to go down? Do you know what the true fate of America is? Because we know, those of us who teach the 100% doctrine of according to the scriptures, we know the fate of America. Do you know? And if you think that after America is fallen that you still gonna be around, right? Do you know what's your plan after? What's your plan for after? Because if you really think that you're gonna save yourself, you gotta have a plan for after what's gonna happen, right? I've never heard anybody say or state what their plan is, because a lot of these Jakes don't have a plan. They don't believe that the America that we see today will be no more, right? But let's go here, man. Let's go to the scriptures. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 1, chapter 19, right? It says, "For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not Yahweh made foolish the wisdom of this world? For after that in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe," right? The foolishness of what? Foolishness of preaching. See, preaching to these people is foolish. Going out here on the streets, you know what I'm saying, every week, making these videos, this is foolish to them, because they can't see the benefit that it has for our people. Well, number one, we always tell you, well, it ain't for everybody. This truth is not for everybody. And by the way that you talk and the way that you speak, you're showing that this truth is not for you. And that's perfectly fine. We don't want everybody to come into this thing. That's another thing that a lot of these cats think. They think that we trying to convert everybody. No, we ain't trying to convert everybody. But we just preach to a broad horizon. You know what I'm saying? We just preach to a broad number of people, or demographic of people, according to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? This word is supposed to go out to the four corners of the earth. Because what? The elect of the nation of Israel is spread out to the four corners of earth, to the earth. So everybody can hear his message. Everybody can hear it. That don't mean it's for you, though. And the Ruach Wadash, the Holy Spirit, is going to determine if it's for you or if it's not. But a lot of you worldly jakes, you don't get this and understand it, because you don't see, like, what a Charleston White might say, or even what's the dude name? Shit, he made the video with Drewski. I can't even remember his name right now. Damn, the old dark skinned round face nigga. I can't even remember his name. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Yeah, him. When he made that video about the reaction to Drewski mocking us or whatever, right? And he was saying, well, you guys are easy to mock because you don't produce nothing. You guys don't do anything but just preach, right? And it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, you're supposed to mock us. Like, you don't think we don't know that? Those of us who we know the truth. We know that you jakes in the world, we know that you're supposed to mock us. You're supposed to say stupid shit about us. You're supposed to make skits about us. You're supposed to look at us and say, well, what are they doing for the community? They ain't starting up businesses, which brothers do have businesses, right? But y'all will say, well, they ain't starting up, businesses, and y'all ain't starting up community things to create change in the hood and everything and all that stuff, right? And my thing is, and I live in St. Louis, right? I live in St. Louis. My thing is this. I don't see none of y'all niggas doing none of that shit. I don't know nan nigga right now. And I may be wrong. There may be somebody out there. You know what I'm saying? There may be a particular person or business leader or whoever that may be out there who I can go to right now and say, hey, look, I need a job. And I ain't talking about just any job. I'm talking about a job where I can make six figures at, or at least learn how. I can go to you. I can learn how to do whatever skill I need to make six figures. You know what I'm saying? And you can hire me. I don't know no motherfucker like that. But that's what y'all are expecting of us. Y'all are expecting that out of us when you see us teaching and preaching. But I don't know not one nigga, not one Jake, not one Israelite here in St. Louis, Missouri, where I can go to and go learn a particular skill to where I will be able to make six figures plus, or begin to start a business just like that to where I can employ other people to make six figures plus. I don't know anybody in St. Louis like that. And not to say that there isn't, but they ain't making themselves known. You know what I'm saying? They not going through the hood and showing themselves and making themselves known and say, hey, you can come to me and you can learn how to do this and that. But yet y'all expect that of us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hypocrites. This is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, starting at verse 21. And it reads, a rich man is fall. It's like it. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust also all away by his friends. When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely, and could have no place. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him, right? So, see, when we speak, right, we're not celebrities. We're not, pro athletes. We're not prominent entertainers. You know what I'm saying? We're not high status individuals. We're not these men. So when we speak, you look at it, the people in the world, they look at us like, man, what these niggas talking about? These niggas talking about nukes. They talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We the true Israelites. Man, these niggas is crazy. These niggas is delusional. These niggas is stupid. What the fuck these niggas talking about, right? But I bet you if LeBron James got out on these street corners, you know what I'm saying, and started preaching what we preach, I bet you motherfuckers are listening. I bet if Denzel Washington got up out here and started preaching what we preach, I bet y'all are listening. I bet if nigga like NBA Youngboy got up out here and started preaching what we preach, I bet these people are listening. They're listening because he's somebody of what? Prominence, high status. He's got money. A rich man. People listen to the rich man. Right? But then You got men like us, who come in a lowly estate. You know what I'm saying? We don't boast in material things in the world. We don't boast in riches. We don't boast in status. We don't boast in the same things as these people boast in. These same things as these people of the world boast in. We boast in our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? But yet, if we slip, or if we appear to slip, right? Or if we say something that may be true and right within the scriptures, they'll try and, condemn us. Just like Polite with the whole situation, he, had the dealings with the apostles. And afterwards, he tried to slander us and say that we preach, we can rape women, little girls, and all that stuff. Right? But then look what happened to him. Same thing he tried to accuse us for, he in jail for, of him actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? But yet let somebody rich and famous come out here and say something that's totally off and against the scriptures, and you know what I'm saying, is bugged the hell out. But people will justify. People are justified and say, oh, well, he must be on to something. He got money. He didn't just get that money for nothing. He's got to be on to something. That's what people will say. It's just wicked and it's retarded, man. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 6, starting at verse 20, and it reads, and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, blessed be ye, Slakia, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Yahweh. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for, behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets, right? So the scriptures is making it plain right here. For all of y'all jakes that's out here that's up, you know what I'm saying? You quote unquote, you winning in this society. You winning in materialism. You winning in money. You winning in these worldly bitches. You winning in all of these areas in life, right? Because a lot of you jakes, all of these celebrities have compromised themselves to get the status that they have, to get the fame that they have, the riches that they have. They have compromised themselves in some kind of way, right? And a lot of these celebrities, they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They didn't, been entered. They didn't been hit up on the backside. They'd been hit up in the back door, right? Especially in that Hollywood realm. That's what a lot of these people got to do when it's coming to Hollywood. But they're still, these people of the world, they'll still reverence them. You know what I'm saying? They'll still have a level of high regard for these people, right? Even though they've compromised themselves, but because they made it, right? Because they've made it, and because they've reached a certain tier in this society, they're looked at with higher respect than somebody that's telling you the truth and warning you of what's about to happen to this place. And that all of that madness, all of this shit, you know what I'm saying, with these devils and and this status and this materialistic, this money, this fame, and all that shit, it's gonna come to an end. It's gonna come to an end real soon, real abruptly, and when you least expect it, right? So with that, Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Chakwadash. And until next